Officer Roy Oliver, the man who shot and killed 15-year-old Jordan Edwards as he was a passenger in a car, has been charged with murder. This is a good development in the story, especially when you consider the details of what happened. The cops were called to a house party where there was a report of underage drinking. At that point, the cops were speaking to the host of the party, and they claimed that they heard gunshots. And then Roy Oliver went outside, grabbed his rifle out of his vehicle, and then proceeded to shoot into a car that had Jordan Edwards in it. And of course, the bullet struck him and unfortunately killed him. He was a completely innocent person. They were trying to get away from the scene.
Yeah, initially the officers suggested that they felt threatened by the car.
Yeah, which was
the car was
a lie.
Now they changed their story, or welcomingly, the Dallas police was like, no, the car was not threatening them. The car was driving away from them.
Yes. So originally, police had said Oliver fired on the vehicle because it was backing up aggressively toward the officers, but the department revised its accounts after reviewing body cam footage, saying the car was driving away when Oliver shot. And so this is one of the rare instances where the body cam footage actually did have an impact. Because I always think about the Walter Scott story, and I know that didn't involve a body cam, but it involved footage of Walter Scott running away from a cop as the cop shot at him, right? And it apparently didn't have much of an impact when it came to the grand jury decision to not press charges.
Hold on, so let me get that straight, because I think in the end that sort of did work for two reasons. Because
there was the federal case.
The federal case, but also he was 11 of 12 jurors were ready to convict for either manslaughter or murder, and one juror simply wouldn't go in that case. So like you got a juror who simply wasn't going to convict a police officer, and then they were able to parlay that successfully into a guilty plea at the federal level, and the family is sort of satisfied, and he was going to get convicted at the federal level, where you're less likely to have a juror like that.
Right.
Where there's more, prosecutors control that more.
Right. So I hope that justice is served in this story and in this case. And right now, the news cycle is constantly flooded with Trump-related news. And I think it's a political strategy by Trump and his cronies. But I don't want it to distract from stories like this, because prior to the election, police brutality and excessive force was a big deal, and it was a topic of discussion for everyone. And everyone has moved away from that and focused more on what Trump is doing. What is he tweeting? Who's tweeting in response to it? And I'm tired of it, right? Stories like this matter. The lives of people like Jordan Edwards matters, and we deserve justice. He deserves justice, and his family deserves justice. So